Right, welcome back everyone for another episode of Software Inc. on Sir NJF. In the last episode, we did some add-ons for Starfinders 3. Let's have a look at those. So their profits actually went down a bit. I had the marketing running for a bit too long on them and didn't cancel it early enough, which you do have to watch out with add-ons because they do drop off fast. Because of that, their profits actually went down, but it's really not the end of the world. But we're done with add-ons for now. I'm about to work on another one, so I'm just immediately correcting myself. Products, Starfinders 3, we're now 41 million in terms of the profits from that. So we are really and truly raking in the money here. I still have my loan outstanding too. I totally forgot about this loan. So we'll just go ahead and pay that out. We've obviously got more than enough to get rid of that. In that year that you've missed, what we have done, I'll come back to all of this actually. In that year, we spent most of it sending our core team through repeated contracts to get our business reputation up. Because I do have an idea for what I want to get started on with this episode, which is launching into another game. And not another RPG, in fact. We're going to go with something slightly different and bring in a whole new team for it. Because what I want to do is I want to eventually have the night team automated on Micro 2D. And I want to have another team who are developing a different game automated and see how that goes from the very get-go. Normally I would automate, let's say, Starfinders in this case here, where I'd go from the successful product that I've got and then take that into automation from there. There's actually, now that I think about it, some updates to be done with Starfinders 3. So while we pump that out, what we're going to do is we're going to have a look at what we're going to make next with Microsoft. I really hate that I called the company Microsoft. I really wish I just wasn't lazy and called it something else, to be honest. Now, we could do a 3D editor, but I do think I'm going to stick to the plan. And we're going to go for doing more games. Maybe we even go for a simulation game. Or a sports game. I haven't actually done a sports game before. That could be fun. What I want to do is I want to base this on the publisher, because my marketing team aren't going to do the marketing for new IPs that I start. What I like to do is use the market recognition that the publisher has got to then speed up the recognition that we gain by being able to sell more units. Even when I can afford to do the marketing, like to do it that way. Otherwise you end up, and you can totally do this, it's totally legitimate. You end up obviously having lots of people in marketing. And I just want to do this playthrough a little bit different to other playthroughs I've done in the past. So for my sports game, we had Starfinders. We'll just call it All Stars. And so that's going to be a sports game on this server here. It doesn't use the same thing, does it? It definitely doesn't. So we're going to have this be with the All Stars framework. We'll come to the next page. Now, our 2D editor is actually quite close to being ready. So I'm going to wait. I'm going to wait on both that and on doing further Starfinders, because I want to be able to use my own 2D editors from here on out. I'm so close on this. It's not worth jumping into any more development until I've got it up, because otherwise it's all for nothing, really. What I'm actually going to do is I'm going to put in a staircase right in this corner here. Something that obviously you can do is you can get involved with your deals. And I don't like to really mess about with deals when I'm doing well in terms of my profits currently. I like to use deals if I'm not doing well to make up for that gap. One thing that you can do, say you've got your support team and they're not doing much work. Mine actually aren't doing much work right now. I could take a support deal, give that to them. That would give me a little bit of extra income and business reputation as well. But I've done my business reputation through my contracts, and I don't want to do it. One of the things I don't like about deals, and I know you can filter them out, but one of the things I don't like about deals is how they clog up what you see at the top right-hand side here with the ongoing projects that you actually have. So I just don't want to get involved with it. The point I'm making when I say that is that I'm not going to do any reception desk. It's not going to exist at all. And in fact, what I am going to do is we're going to have an exact copy of this room right here. and this room right here. So we need to go into build mode for this. But if I, of course, I can build another floor and I could design that floor however I wish it to be. But what I like to do is just cookie cutter rooms. So we can select this room, hold shift, select this leader's room here. And then we'll do the same for the toilets. We won't do the same for the hallway because it's not actually going to be that shape. But I could, and in fact I will. And they're also going to have their own marketing team. Now that I think about it, when we get stuck in with this, but they won't have it straight away. So we'll do the hallways. We'll do this room here, which will become the automation development room on the upper floor, and then we'll go for the break room as well. And that will be it for now. So we'll copy all of that. We'll line that up right there. Yeah, that looks good. We'll delete this door. We'll delete this door. And then we need to grab a staircase just like this one. And I want to rotate it that way around and pop it right there. And that looks good. So we'll then change this to that design. They can now all be accessed. This is a non-existent room. We'll just copy a leader's room into there and delete this door. Delete this door. Delete this door. Delete this door. And that gets rid of all the warnings. So last thing is we want to select entire building, select all of our lights, and then we can turn all of those on. Again, just because I like to. We'll get rid of the light fixtures. And they should be good. They should all have fire alarms, ventilation. It's a new break room, of course. And make sure this isn't assigned. It is not assigned. These rooms will be leaders only. There's a spare room there, which we haven't built yet. Building looking pretty ugly due to that. But it's a roof. The roof being the same color is absolutely disgusting. Finished the review of Micro 2D. It's a 9.3 overall score. Relative score is good. So we're not going to do any iterations on that. I'm happy with that. Could do with higher creativity, but again, that's fine, to be honest. In a moment, we'll get stuck back in with actually starting to put this team together because we're not too far off releasing Micro 2D. But if we come to the event calendar here, I don't have much recognition with 2D Editor, so I want to... Oh, I tell you what, I should have actually took a publisher for Micro 2D. But that's fine. So I want to see when other 2D editors are actually coming out. So we've got nothing in 1989, nothing in 1990, nothing in the calendar at all. We do actually have sports games coming out from our publisher, but that might work in my favor, to be honest. What I'm going to do is I'm going to announce a release date for this, and what I'm thinking is that it's probably... I want it sooner rather than later due to wanting to develop the game on it. I'm not going to do the release date yet. I'm going to push a bit further. I'm not too worried about the followers for this, but what we will do is we'll get the marketing team working on another text release for that. They'll also do the hype for it too. Starfinders 3 we're updating up to more recent tech levels with the core team. We'll take the core team out of here now. And the night team will just continue to work on that for now. And then in the meantime, I want to see what kind of requirements we're going to have on this team that we want to build. So for operating systems, I'm going to go for kind of everything that is relatively modern and over 100,000 users. So everything else is too old or too little, really. I think these ones look good. And this is not the 2D editor. I don't know why I said that. So for the design of the game, this is for All-Stars, just as a reminder, with the All-Stars framework. The audio tool will be fine, hopefully, when we get to that. I'm not sure what's causing the issue here. That's going to be a bit annoying. I could actually buy Base Studio. It made a lot of profit. Made a hell of a lot of profit. It's 12 million. And that would allow me to update it and then use it straight away. While I actually then put my night team back on releasing a sequel to the audio tool. But they haven't been hired for that. Maybe we won't do that right now. But that could be an idea. I think that actually could be a potentially good way to get things more up to date. So let's... did I review this? I think I did review that. So my core team don't have anything to do right now. We'll work on that in just a moment. We need to educate our night team. Let's give him some system programming because we don't have quite enough of those in the team. And then the core team are about to go home. We'll worry about them tomorrow. In fact, we're just going to stick the core team on Micro 2D for now. That's going to overflow them. But we were already low on programmers, so that actually kind of works out for me. Lots of people on vacation right now. That's fine. We'll just keep this design document minimized, ready to come back into it so that we don't have to set it all back up again. Just minimize it, keep it at the top there. And the support team are doing more than enough to cover Starfinders 3. So they're a little bit idle at the moment. We actually come in here, we can see that the marketing team are also idle after completing the marketing for this. And it would make sense to get the core team on something else, to be honest. So we're going to go back to what we were saying at the start. We're going to do one final expansion pack based on the core team. And same for the development team. And final one here. This is going to be called Starfinders 3 New Horizons. Because I'm super original like that. And if we go for these three. Pump this up. Pump that up. Pump this up again. And then that looks good. It's got the audio tools, the server, the price. Price says $11.94. We'll do that. Why not? So that's going over to the core team. That's just to keep... That is primarily to keep them busy while we're trying to finish off Micro 2D. So rather than leave them idle, or in fact put them into this project, we're going to have them work on one more expansion so that we can get Micro 2D out. And then we'll get straight to work on Starfinders 4 and also setting up an automated team to take care of our sports game that we're then going to set up after that. I'm happy with that with these stages here. We'll want our marketing team to start working on this and we'll announce a release date of February 1989. Will that be enough time? November, December, January, February. We'll go for March 1989. 1990, sorry. It might not actually be enough time, but I am pretty confident that Micro 2D will be done by then. So, with that in mind, we're actually going to market this and give it the same release date, March 1989. 1990, sorry. Yeah, that's fine. And then they can release this press release. They're writing one for New Horizons. They also need to take care of the hype for that. In the meantime, we'll do a quick review of that too. I didn't realize that was going to finish quite so quickly, to be honest. But they can promote now. There's actually no bugs to fix on this. We're probably just going to release it. Starfinders is going up in sales, and we are running out of stock yet again. If we come to our manufacturing, we can see that, yeah, so I put these limits down. So we've got plenty in stock of the two add-ons. And for now, I'm going to cancel them out because we're not getting anywhere near moving that kind of units. But for this, we'll go back to 100,000 units. And then at the same time, we will order 69,000 units. That looks good to me. Let's go with what the game recommends. And we're losing followers here. I need to print some of this though. We'll go for 80,000 units. And we're going to give that a moment. Right, our followers are going up. We'll give that a moment to actually get pushing out. And then we're probably just going to go ahead and release this. Or are we? No, I'm going to farm some more marketing XP. That's exactly what I'm going to do. So we'll come to the marketing team. We can actually see that 5 of them, all of them, can now do 2D marketing. So our plan is working because they're fast learners. So we can market... maybe we should be marketing Micro 2D. No. Let's do marketing on Starfinders 3 first. And we'll set this up for marketing as well, but we'll pause that one. And we'll come back to that shortly. Everyone gets the raises that they want at our company because we've got mega money for where we're at. More training is coming. It's the night team who are on Micro 2D. Let's slow down time a little bit. Let's pause time, in fact. And we'll go for a bit of 2D art on this guy and system programming on this guy. Now this is ready to be promoted, so let's go ahead and promote that now. We're going to have a nice healthy phase for that. I'm not sure how fast we're going to get through these press releases. What I may want to do is actually expand the marketing team who are in here. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 desks in there. And the marketing team has 5 people. Yeah, so let's go to HR management. We're going to increase this now. So we've got 4 people that have reached level 2. We'll increase that to a full team. So it is 8 desks, as we said. We'll go to 8 people. Continue hiring low salaries. And start to push that out even faster. Yep, they're now employed. Saw that number go up. I clicked off it pretty fast, but we can see that's gone up to 8 people. Now that should actually go to 9 because it's got a leader in there as well. But we'll come back to that. Our followers are going down for Starfinders 3. Hopefully that will be accounted for somewhat in the increase in staff that we just took on. But we've got a couple of things here. First of all, FPS games have just been released. That has immediately changed my mind with this design document. We'll go for FPS games instead because I want to stick with what's just come out, essentially. We've also got some upgraded printers, some upgraded servers, and upgraded computers. So, especially with the computers, this can obviously be a bit daunting to actually go in and replace all of these. What we can do instead is we can go select entire building. We can go shift onto the computer there, right click and go select furniture types in selected rooms. That will then select all of our computers on the top floor too. And then we can right click on them, go replace furniture, take the upgraded computer, hit OK, and then that upgrades all of them for us at once. So we'll just do that same thing with our servers, which we had to expand, by the way. When you get your servers on this servers menu down here, if that load reaches 100%, you'll get a notification that you're reaching capacity on your servers. The way you then add them on is just build more servers. You can then select all those servers and then hit connect servers on the left here. That'll put them all into one server if you want them in one server. But we are doing the same process but upgrading them to medium servers, no, to tower servers. And that's going to give us more than enough capacity to be able to deal with what we've got going on there. So our load was at 12%. If we move forward, that's now at 0.6%. So that's going to last us a very long time because we won't be doing any hosting deals or anything like that. So that's our computers, our servers done. And then the final thing was, I've totally forgot. It was medium product printers. So we'll come down to our printers now, select all of those as well, replace furniture, medium product printers. So that's, let's actually check. This was at 144,000, I think. Honestly, I actually don't remember. But we can do 200,000 copies a month now. So again, that helps because we were running out of stock occasionally. So that's good. One thing I want to check is we failed doing our taxes last year. If we come to our accounting team here, we can see that their fulfillment is likely to be 35%. So doing the strategy that gives us... I want to change these room types, actually. Let's change it to halls. That's better. I was talking about my accountants. Yes, they've got a team of 4, not including the leader. And they're not able to fulfill what we want them to do. We've got 5 of them who can write tax reports, but it's not enough. If we come to our teams here, they are working fine on that. If we come to here, they are all assigned, but our fulfillment is too small. So the team is too small, putting it quite plainly. What we're going to do is I really want to keep this gap here. I want it to be like a little walkway between the 2 buildings. It's going to look a little bit awkward to bring that office down this side though, but I think that is what we're going to do. The only issue is I don't know where my elevators are going to go. I was going to put elevators down in that gap. But maybe the right play is to actually move accounting up into this space here. How many desks would that be? Not that many more. I'm going to do it the ugly way. I would normally just redesign this at this point, but we can't do that. So if we grab all of this, we can go for 1 more desk, 1 more desk, 1 more desk. That's 3 more people. We need another light down the bottom here. And that is fine for our accounting team. So, for our accounting team, finally, we then... I'll tell you what I want, actually. Because people have been complaining about social needs as well. I know I keep getting back and forth quite a bit here, but we'll put in a water cooler there and there. And for the accounting team too, right there. That'll help them with their social needs. But in this room now, we have a capacity. If I select all the computers, you can do it this way to see that we've got 7 desks. Leader doesn't count, so that's 8 in total in that team. So 3 more people can come in, which doesn't sound like enough, to be honest. But they are fast learners. Maybe I just keep failing the tax reports and train them up that way. Do you know what? I just want to not deal with that anymore. So we're gonna start hiring high salary people into accounting. It's not such a big deal that they do the growing method because there's only 3 stars to gain in accounting, so it's really not that big of a deal. We'll let them autopilot again now. We'll ignore the burglars. Micro 2D is gonna get the priority from the marketing team, who have expanded, but let's just release this. I can't bother to wait on that anymore. I want a little bit to happen for that, at the very least. We'll release press builds for both of these. It looks like it was made by a child. They don't like my marketing team. That's to be expected. We'll let time pass a little bit. See the press release from Micro 2D, see if they like it. So pre-release of New Horizons, it has all the features, looks amazing, it's not far from release. So they like what they're seeing with that. The night team has some training, who are the Micro 2D team. So you're going to get a 2D point, and you are going to get a system point. And we're releasing next month. The followers are shooting up for Starfinders 3. And our press release is actually going to make it 2. That's actually massive. So we'll release that press release, and then we'll let the day finish before we release Micro 2D. Which I guess means we'll also wait on Starfinders as well. We're not printing this, I've just remembered. We'll go with 50,000 copies. I don't think we're going to even need that, but that should get into stock nice and quickly. Remember to release your tings. Yes, I will. Thank you very much. Right, so we'll go for the end of the day for our releases, and then we'll start work on setting up automation for our FPS team, who are going to work on Call of Duty, let's say. Right, okay, so Starfinders 3 New Horizons, first of all. Let's go ahead and release that. We're expecting 5 stars and probably a 3 on this. 4 stars up the top, what the hell? That is not expected, but I don't care. Oh well. Let's leave it as it is. We'll go for 10,000 on the marketing budget. I don't actually want to overkill that. And then for Micro 2D, we'll release that too. I'm happy with that. We haven't made a 2D thing before, so I'm very happy with that. We're gonna pump the marketing on that hard. We'll update using our core team. We'll update Starfinders 3 using maybe our core night team, but I'm thinking I want to automate 2 different things is what's on my mind. Because we're going to have the core team do Starfinders 4, and I am going to have the night team automate Micro 2D, and then I want another team to automate a new FPS game from the get-go. So let's start looking at all of that. We're not going to progress time. Actually, yes, we are. We're going to go to the next day, and we can see that we did 750,000 from Starfinders 3 New Horizons. So that puts us on a day 1 profit of 684,000. That's way more than what the last one actually did, and it ran out of stock. So we made the maximum amount of money possible from that. If we come back to New Horizons, this isn't going to print any. So we can get through nearly 200,000 this month. If we double it, we'll make all of that in a day, and we'll have to see if that covers the deficit. But we will actually order some copies too. Do you know what? Fuck it, I've got the money. I always just do that, to be honest. We also want to update our frameworks. So the core night team isn't working on any of these right now, so we'll get them working on it. Starfinders 3 does need an update. Oh, but we're waiting for the 2D editor on that. That's fine. Okay, so the updates are going and ready. Now, in the meantime, we actually want to change, first and foremost, we want to change the leader for our core night team. So if we come to teams, come into our core night team, we'll come to employees, where we can see we've got Oakley at the lead. Now, they have HR, socialization, and multitasking. They're a pretty good leader, to be honest, except for the fact that they don't have automation, which is actually quite annoying. Maybe Oakley would be better as a team leader for the core team, but I'm never going to be able to automate, which is absolutely fine. But if we come to this team here, it's really actually quite unfortunate, but they're just going to have to get sacked. We'll sort that out afterwards. What I want to do, getting back on task, what I want to do is in both the core night team and my new team, which will be FPS games, the core night team will become, I know exactly what I can do with Oakley. I've got the perfect thing. They're going to take care of updates and porting. So we're going to have updates and porting in one team for now. And we're going to have FPS games. We want to grab Oakley, who's going to change teams to updates and porting. So they're in that team. They're going to have a team of 5 for no particular reason. That's just what I've decided in my head. They're all going to be programmers. Do 1 person at a time for training up to the top level. Handle wages, complaints, and role selection. Specializations in all of these. specializations for hiring in all of these within development. Traits, we want to go fast learners again with medium salaries because I want them to be a decent experience level when we hire them, because the updates, there is going to be demand on the updates and the porting. I mean, they're not doing development work. No, medium's fine. Medium's fine. Let's not overkill. So we'll actually go big brain so that they can gain as many points as possible, because it matters a lot more for designing and programming and artists as well to an extent. So that looks good. Their HR is set up and ready to go. They'll do the hiring. They just need a room. These are 2 spare offices. This is going to be the FPS team. So switch team FPS games. So they're going to be our FPS game offices. This office, and then the building that is not yet there, which will be this. These, what's that? Why did that not copy the chat? Really odd. So this one and this one will become updates and porting. And then, do you need an extra desk? 5 members in the main office. Yeah, so they will need a desk. That's right. So grab both of these. And they can sit against this wall with their computer on the other side. And do a little something like that, just to help with sound once more. Okay then, so this is updates and porting. This is their leader. This is FPS games, and this is their leader. So they are all good to go. We're ready to go with updates and porting because they already have a level 3 HR leader. They don't need automation. FPS games does. So if we actually hire another lead for FPS games, a lead who seconds as a designer, let's say, they can be a high salary. We want them to have HR and automation. They're the 2 most important things that need to be good off the bat here. Hire them into FPS games. And then this person's really good, Harrison Lopez. This person's also really good for different reasons, but I think Harrison Lopez looks most appropriate. We're not going to do that. I'm going to try and get my hands on a lead designer first. There are no lead designers available right now. Okay, right. I don't know if this is going to work out, but this is why we got the reputation up. So, as mentioned at the start of the episode, between the last episode and when we actually kicked off this episode, I burnt through a year's worth of contracts while Micro 2D was in development. I wanted to get my reputation up, which I should have finished off and got all the way to 6 stars, but nevertheless. And I've done that so that I could come into my companies list and try and poach someone. And first and foremost, there is a very small amount of companies in here right now, which is actually quite surprising. If we come to some of the top guys in this list and look at their products, I want to find someone that's been making games like Techno Kyler Digital. They haven't got the best ratings. We've got this guy. Let's come to All Software. I'm changing my mind slightly here about how we're going to look for this. We come to All Software. We can look at the categories. We want to look at games, but no one has made RTSs. So just to go game here then. And I don't mean RTSs, I mean FPSs. We'll order this by reviews and see who's recently done a good one. This here, that's me, Starfinder's 3. Yeah, so no one's done one quite so recently. So we'll look at Techno Kyler Digital because they've come up a couple of times now. If we go into the details of that and look at the lead designer, yeah, they're 96% visionary in making games. If we go to their portfolio, they've actually jumped between companies. They're now at Synth Scart Enterprise, who have been pumping out bad games, but that's not the end of the world. If we try and poach them, they'd want 4 mil up front, a luxury car, a private office, fixed monthly rate, a non-binding contract, and IP ownership. I'm not sure I mind, to be honest. Another issue is skills. You can only actually do design. Maybe it is still a good idea. I want to try it. I've been thinking about trying this, so we are just going to go ahead and do it. Mark Ross, you're in, mate. Fuck. I knew I'd need that 6-star. That is so annoying. What about the other contenders in this list? They haven't made any games. Neither have they. These guys have. That's Synthscar. I don't think we're going to go for it. Yeah, that's rough. Let's progress time a little bit. The updates and porting team can at least start work. And they can actually come onto these too. Actually, in fact, no, they're not. Let's get them onto some porting jobs. Yeah, so we'll go for a port with the updates and porting team. We've got some good options here. These two for a start. And that's probably going to be it. So we'll start porting that. We'll also port Micro 2D. Same softwares, I believe they are. Yeah, they certainly are. And what's the consumer reach on this at the moment? It's still 2.5 mil, but that's going to increase it somewhat. Once the update for Micro 2D is done, then we're doing an update for Starfinders 3. That's now completed. So we'll update this with Micro 2D. We'll just put the updates and porting team on that. That framework has been completed. They'll not work on Micro 2D for now. They'll do the Starfinders 3 port because that's got the potential to make us more money than any of the other options. The buses are filling up. Here's a little life hack for you. If your buses are filling up and you need parking, just buy the parking lot that's next to you. That's what I like doing. It's going to cost 1.4 million, but I mean, that's going to be... I mean, it's massively overkill. We definitely do not need that many slots of parking. I could just buy this and dump parking on it. I mean, it's a bit silly, really, isn't it? But fuck it. There you go. There's your parking, guys. And we pass some more time while our ports carry on. Once it hits March, there we go. I want to see if we're able to get some lead designers. Is it based on this? If I go designer. No. No, it's not. Well, let's see if we can find what we're looking for. So let's set up the design document for FPS games. If we come into here, we'll go game to FPS. And we'll call this Call of Duty, since everything that we're naming is pretty crap. And servers correct. Framework, we need a new framework, and that will be FPS framework. Come to the next page. Our 2D editor will be Micro 2D. Audio tool is not going to work, basically. But that it takes our tech level back to 1981. We've got the potential to make good money here by buying an audio tool. Despite the fact I was saying that I didn't want to do that, I think I am going to. Let's see, all software, and come to audio tools. This one came out in 1982. Audible Deluxe. Is there a second Audible Deluxe in that list? No, there's not. What about the most profitable? That is Audio Deluxe. This one, which is more recent, Bass Studio 3. How much would it be for this? Only 629,000. And for Bass Studio, 18 mil. I'm going to buy Audible Deluxe. So we now own Audible Deluxe. We'll come to our releases. And we're going to update this. Because no one's updating their fucking audio tools, which is just winding me up. That will go to updates and porting. In fact, it's going to get the core teams on it too. And we'll move that forward. And there's no units in stock for that, to be fair. But if we have a look at the details, it was moving money at one point. It really was. Tempted to put my night team on it. We'll leave it for now. But we will come back and do that. Right, once that update is done, Audible Deluxe, which it now is, we'll finish that off and come back to our design document once again and go game, FPS game, we're calling it Call of Duty, new FPS framework. Right, and then should Audible Deluxe, very nice. 2D editor, micro 2D, very nice. Operating systems, so we want, it was these and these. Nah, that's in public domain, we'll skip that one. We'll go to, wait, I'm meant to be automating FPS games. Oh yeah, that's right. Sorry, I totally lost track of what I was doing. I keep jumping back and forth between different things, which is probably making this an awful watch for you guys, to be honest. So we want to stick to some relatively low level stuff, to be honest. So we'll throw in all the tier 1 features for the moment. It's not what people want, because they want more graphics and less story. So we could take out dialogue trees, branching story. You don't need any of this for FPS. Advanced HUD, yes. Physics, I don't know. There's not much that we can do to actually improve graphics unless we have 3D graphics in there. Let's go back here. We'll remove all of these, and there are no 3D editors on the market. So let's change our plans once more. We're going to come back to FPS games, and our night team, who need a leader that can do automation, are going to also work on a 3D editor. So if we have a look at our team overview down here, development, no one's got any points in 3D. Now, our core team can actually push this out. So that's what we're going to do. Our core team don't have any work, which is fine. We need to let me just quickly hire the lead into the night team so that we don't forget about those. So we'll have lead, secondary role, designer, I guess, high with automation and HR. They both need to be 3-star. I'm not going to select anyone that's not. Good compatibility with a night team. Trait needs to be a night owl. And then what have we got? So this guy's network. You come in. So you are Micah Stark. Micah, do me a favor, mate. Get everyone in line. Need you to be our leader. Nothing for service. And then the night team are back to normal. The core team's cohesion is really, really low. And I hadn't noticed that until now. Cohesion, where are you? State. I don't understand why that is. They've been working together for long enough. Let's do some spot checks on the employees. If we look at the details of Nathan Foster, where's the details button gone? Oh, it's right there. I'm being blind. So he's happy. He's got his private office. Compatible with these. Let's just check this guy. Room aura is good. He feels stuck though. Let's look at this guy. Room aura is good. I mean, whatever. I'm getting bored of this now. Let's just get started on this 3D editor. And the night team are going to help out with it initially. Don't need an employee. We want to go Let's see if any are coming out before I commit. Audio tool, RPG, sports, operating system, RTS, adventure. So there's none coming for ages. So if we were to go 3D editor and we go existing framework, there are none. That's good. That's what we want to see. So 3D framework. And then come across, let's see if there are any supporting operating systems there. There bloody is, which is absolutely fantastic news. I could have done this a year ago, which would have been good if we did, but we didn't. Even balance on everything. We want the core team in here because they're the ones with the 3D. I don't understand why. Oh, because I haven't got an artist. That's absolutely fine. That's really not a problem. Or is it? I think it might be. I think it might be a problem. If we come to the core team here, yeah, no one's got 3D art. But they do have space for more. So let's throw in an artist. Just the one artist. High, core, no trait, 3D. And then you're very nice. And you're very nice. This is a bit overkill for the team, really. A bit too much art, but I want to be able to make a good 3D editor, so we're going with it. If I then actually go like this and like this, that'll refresh this page. And now we can see what we can actually add in here. So we're going to self-publish. We'll click everything and then see what we can remove and do it that way around. System, 2-star system's definitely okay, isn't it? So what's that? 3 in design for it, 5 programming for it. It's not too bad. Hopefully the training will get us the rest of the way there. So we'll do some of this. I mean, we don't actually need either of it. We could just go with this, which seems like a good idea. So that's only on Dolphin OS. We know that already. 3D editor, it's going to be called Micro 3D, believe it or not. The price is fine. Apparently that's going to take us 2 years. That says about a year. We take those things off. In fact, rendering is the one to get rid of if we can. So we could drop that off. That's still approximately 2 years. And then maybe take off hair sim. What happens though if I throw on sculpting and then remove procedural objects, points between meshes, and this? Don't think that's worth it. I think that's decent. I'm going to stop delaying on it now. We've got the staff required. Our lead designer for this. We don't have anyone good with 3D editors. We also don't have anyone that has any decent creativity. I would like to try one of our new guys. Melanie Black, I have a good feeling about you. Develop this for us, Melanie. So that's the core team. The night team, in the meantime, do have a job. And I, truthfully, have lost track of what I said I was going to do with them. So there, in that case, probably they can't get working on Starfinders 4 because the 3D team are dependent on them. We've bought the audio tool, which they could potentially work on a sequel for, which looks like it would need... Let's just do it this way. You look okay. Camilla is the best idea there. They don't actually have enough programmers in the team. And then if I look at the event calendar, there was one coming up, wasn't there? Yeah, there was. I think the night team are going to get working on contracts. That will help us get that 6-star as well. So let's grab the night team. Let's set their maximum task to 1. And then we will grab 1 contract at a time for now, because these are big ones. But they'll keep our stuff moving, which is good. We'll see... We'll actually be able to see Camilla's creativity to some extent. So they're now being worked on. We'll start to move time a little bit. And we can see that the FPS Games has no job. That's fine. We knew that's going to be the case. Our updates and porting team is still working on the ports. And I think now's a good time to fly through a bit of time progress. Let's jump into a time lapse. We'll let time move a little bit. See how quickly we're going to get through the design phases on these two things here. And then once our 3D editor is finished, we're then going to actually work on the FPS game and get that set up with automation, which we haven't yet done. I'm going to spend a moment here setting up the HR for the rest of my teams while I let time zoom and we get through our ports and our design phases. And then we'll jump back in, probably for a bit of a summary on this episode, and then end up and see where we're setting up for next time, and then hopefully be able to start the next session by setting up those automations. So be back shortly. Right, okay, we've passed a bit of time there. We've done some updates to our products. What I want to focus on now is I need to establish a release date for Micro 3D. Let's just have another check, see if anyone else has announced any 3D editors, which it doesn't look like they have. Let's go to all software. Let's just double check. There's no 3D editors in there. So we're ready with our marketing. If we go market, and we'll announce a release date for, let's see the review, actually. Let's just check. Throw our night team on this. Actually, no, we'll give our night team a big contract. Give that to Camilla again, just to keep them busy. See how our reviews come in for Micro 3D, and that's gonna determine when we look to release. Looking good. We're a bit slow on the 3D on it, which isn't actually too ideal. But that is what it is, really. We're getting through it, I think. But basically, our core team needs a bit of support. They've got 11 desks, and the leader goes in there. So we can get one more 3D programmer. One more 3D programmer in there. Specialization 3D. Oh, you can do art as well. You're good. You can do design as well. You're extra good, but you have bad perks. You. That should help us just progress a little bit faster on that. Also fills in the gap of what we're missing in our 3D team. A lot of idlers at the moment, mainly because we're not doing any updates for anything, but there's no updates to be done. That'll be less of a problem when we get automation rolling for these, because the updates team will then be assigned to the automation teams, and then we'll probably end up having a further automation team after that point. We are getting to the point of nearly release with this. So it's May now. June, July, August, September. September sounds good for 1991. In fact, we'll go August 1991, because you don't get much done in August anyway, with how we've got the holidays set at the moment. We'll push the time here, and we're going to start our next episode by setting up automation with the FPS games. We're also going to automate probably the 3D editor. And actually, it's hard to let go of the 2D editor. We've had such big success with that it's it seems reasonable to actually carry on with that. If we report into our marketing team as well, we can see here that let's look at our rewards first. So most profitable product is us with Micro 2D. We've done very, very well this game, I must admit. So we can go ahead and promote Micro 3D. So what I was saying is the marketing team, we've got over half of them now have reached that point of being level 2. We can see that their next classes are all coming up. So our strategy of getting them low salary and allowing them to build up is kind of working out. I think in future, I still will actually end up going just straight for high salary people that can do high level marketing from the get-go, because there hasn't been much downside to it, I must confess, but you know, we could have just been going from the get-go with it, to be honest. So let's update Micro 2D again. Oh, our 3D editor is ready to go. So we'll just release that. And we haven't printed any of it, so we'll go for 50,000 copies. We'll let the day run so that we've got some printing happening for it. And with the update for Micro 2D done, we can now update Starfinders as well, which is not going to take much time at all by the looks of things. Yep, that's good. And let's go ahead and wait for the last possible moment. There we go. Micro 3D has been released. 4 stars, 2 stars, and 4 stars. We will certainly take that. So we've got Micro 3D at the top here with sparse marketing. The contract is still going. So Micro 3D support is in there. There is no updates to be done with it, and I don't think we're going to see any significant sales off of this. Micro 2D is unavoidable marketing now. We'll actually set a 20,000 budget. I misclicked there. No, I didn't. A 20,000 budget on getting that updated. Starfinders is fizzling out, which is fine. The core team are going to get working on their release for this straight away, actually, now that I think about it. So we can come in here, we can actually do a sequel right here, and we'll do Starfinders 4 RPG game on an existing framework, which I believe needs an update. No, it was done. It was done. I don't remember doing it, but it was done. Although 2D graphics needs to be updated. So 2D framework, give that to them. Let's just speed up time. We'll see how Micro 3D does. Ooh, it's a big old number. That was a 1 million profit at the start, which is nuts. It's because it's the only 3D editor on the market. Micro 2D, with that patch, absolutely shot up, which is kind of nuts. Let's order 100,000 units and see if that covers that. Once this 2D framework is done, yep, we'll then come back to Starfinders 3 one more time. Make a sequel. We want the RPG framework, which we did not update. Updates importing, get that done please. Yep, thank you. So we want RPG framework. That's all up to date. We'll now add on 3D graphics, because we can come in here and we can go Micro 2D, Micro 3D, and Audible Deluxe. All updated. Add on our Dolphin OS. This one came out in May 91. Unavoidable marketing. I will come back to that after release and see whether it's needed. Let's have a look at the market now. So people want more story, they want more graphics. More graphics works for me, and we could do with a little bit less story now. We could get rid of dialogue trees. We could balance it like this here. Got enough staff in all categories. Haven't checked the teams on it though. The teams are correct. So we want Brian. Yeah, Brian is going to do this. We won't have a publisher, but that's going to be the first 3D RPG game on the market, developed by the core team. And then the next step will be to get our automation set up for the FPS game, which we're going to kick off at the start of the next episode. So the next episode will be all about automations. We'll spend the time setting all of that up. This has probably been a lot of menus in this one, but we've had huge success with Micro 3D. If we look at our releases now, to be fair, we're doing stupendously with ignore Audible Deluxe because we haven't seen that money ourselves. If we actually tried to trade that, that's not worth anything. So Starfinders 3 made a hell of a lot of profit. Micro 3D made $1 million in its first month. I am interested to see how it will do in month 2. We'll have a very quick look at that before we end. And then we'll close off until the next episode. So looking over here, 1.8 mil on both Micro 3D and 2D. They both seem to have had a good month last month, so they are now going to jump to much less profit on here. So this can come down to 10,000 because the marketing need is much, much lower on that. If we come to here, yeah, we can see that that jumped down, and there's no updates to be done for it either. We need the core team helping on this because the updates team can't actually manage it. And yeah, between episodes, I'll do a little bit of progress on this. I'll get this contract done and out of the way. We'll get Micro 3D updates done. And we'll get Starfinders 4 most of the way through the development stages. But once the core night team are done with this contract, that's where we'll resume the next episode, where we'll then talk about setting up automations, 1 for Micro 3D and 2 for the FPS game that we are intending to go automation first on. If you are enjoying these episodes, please do leave a comment, let me know your thoughts. If you've got any feedback, subscribe. Obviously just started out on YouTube, so all of that support will mean a hell of a lot if you can, and I shall catch you in the next one. All the best.